Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for the censors out there that monitor the community guidelines on the TikTok, I just want to assure you, we always tell you that at the New Health Conversation, the one thing we do is we only quote from peer-reviewed human trial medical studies that are in the public domain. Therefore, we can't make a claim because it's available to everybody to see. Everything we talk about is medically backed, it's safe, it's proven, and there's nothing on our site to buy. We're supplying education to people about the latest trends in weight loss and health, et cetera. And we use TikTok as our main platform from an educational purposes only. And we always make sure that everything that we share with everybody is from these medical studies. So anyway, hello and welcome everybody. Yeah, she just lost 35 pounds in just 37 days. Look, right away I want to explain something to you. Unlike anybody else you're seeing right now, even live on TikTok or on any of the social media platforms, we're the only ones with peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. Don't buy into all this nonsense about the fact you can lose 20 pounds in a month and most of it's fat. Number one, that's a lie because of the fact that you cannot lose fat on a diet and you cannot lose fat by exercise. Your fat cells, you're born with the same number of fat cells, you die with the same number of fat cells, they remain the same. The overwhelming evidence is this, that in 4 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese. Hello, who the heck am I? Why am I even telling you this? My name is Peter Greenlaw. I've been a nutritional researcher for 23 years. I've written 4 best-selling books. I appeared 20 times on public broadcasting. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America and over 1,500 live lectures around the world. I don't tell you to impress you. I'm bringing to you real medical proof. We don't show me anybody else on social media. I'm open to it. Show me anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence. They do a lot of talking. With all due respect, I see these influencers, a health coach, a weight loss coach, a medical doctor, a chiropractor, a dietitian, a nutritionist. How come none of them have one shred of medical evidence? When we're looking down the barrel of a gun, basically, when you're talking about Johns Hopkins Medical School study predicts obesity apocalypse. By 2030, 86% of you are going to be overweight and obese. What we have here is a brand new, amazing, unbelievable breakthrough in weight loss and health. It was developed by the top weight loss researchers in the world. It took them 40 years, 100 studies, and they finally figured it out. Diets are dead. I'm serious. No diet out there works. I don't care what you think about diets. I don't care maybe you've lost weight. You have to understand that the long term, 2/3 of you, whatever diet you're on right now, no matter what influence you might be listening to, you're going to gain all the weight and more. Let me explain that. 2/3 of you will end up weighing more than you did when you started. That's not my opinion. We've got study after study. We've even got people now like Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories. Here's Medicare saying Medicare search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Another one, why you shouldn't count calories. They've said while counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. You're up against something that you don't have to be up against. Imagine in this case, you could lose, look at what she lost, about 7 pounds a week. The minimum on this, I'll show you another one. Kristen, she lost 21 pounds, 38.75 inches in just 30 days with no exercise allowed. She lost no water weight and actually gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise allowed. I know that many of you are tempted. You jump off this podcast because we're realists. We're telling you something you probably don't want to hear. What you don't want to hear is whatever you think you're doing. We're not trying to make you wrong, okay? Don't hear me say that. But if you look at the medical evidence, what you're doing is absolutely wrong. It won't work. Do you understand that counting calories, one of the reasons it's so foolhardy? The human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't know what a calorie is. And you see these people that are trying to sell you recipes, and they're talking about something that has no medical backing, and the medical backing that is out there is pitiful. I'll give you an example. There's a lot of talk about this time-restricted eating, where you don't eat, you fast for 16 hours, and you fast 16 hours, and you don't eat for, I'm mixed up. You fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8, and that's supposed to be the magic panacea, right? Well, the problem with that, is that, let's see, let me find it. I know I have it here. Hold on just one second. Oh, here it is, yeah. So this is the Journal of the American Medical Association, a big study on this time-restricted eating thing, which is nothing more than a low-calorie diet. but let's tell you what they said. So Journal of the American Medical Association did a 3-month study on this, you don't eat for 16 hours, you eat for 8. Here's their quote. Our researchers found that overweight adults who were assigned to routinely fast 16 hours daily, eating all their meals between noon and 8, gained almost no benefit from it. Over the course of 3 months, they lost an average of 2 to 3.5 pounds, and the weight they lost was lean muscle mass. How's that sound to you? Well, if that's not enough, all these diets, you see, there's your problem. Here's what the experts are saying about diets. The deadly delusion of calorie counting. Abandon calories in, calories out. Calories in, calories out is a dangerous fraud. The body completely ignores calories, which are merely a lab-invented unit of energy with no corresponding biological sensor or mechanism. Instead, the body craves essential air, water, and numerous and nutrients to function. Where hunger acts as a signal for nutrient deficiencies, not calorie deficiencies, rendering calorie tracking not just ineffective, but a harmful distraction that perpetuates obesity cycles and dieting failures. We got to get serious about this. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you just think, oh, it's going to be great, or you're going to go into the shots, let's say, the panacea, which we're not even against the shots. But let's read about the actual effectiveness of the shots, right? I'm not against them. If you're diabetic, you need them. If you're morbidly obese, you can do it. But let's look at the actual, what's the real weight loss? This is the New England Journal of Medicine. You all can look it up. It's in the public domain. Once weekly semaglutide in adults overweight or obese. It was a 68-week study for any of these on a GLP-1. 68 weeks, that's a year and 4 months. The weight loss after 68 weeks was 32 pounds. And of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. What do you think is happening to people that are coming off the shots? They're gaining as much as a half pound a day. Just like on all these diets, you've got to understand 25 to 40% of what you're losing, even if they're successful, is your lean muscle mass. And when that happens, you slow down your metabolism and you slow down your own immune system. What in the hell are we doing? And I see it right now. I see them, they're on social media right now, yapping about this stuff with not one shred of medical evidence. They're writing on a whiteboard and you can buy their program and all. It's all nonsense. It should make you mad as hell. You're being at a minimum being misled. I'll be kind. What is going on? My gosh, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? We've been brainwashed. I mean, if in 4 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight and obese, if any of these diets work, they'd have $1 trillion company. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about every year new diets come out? Why do we continue to add diet after diet after diet after diet? Because none of them work long term. My God, I've got a report here. Listen to this, everyone. This is a study on 110 different diets with the craziest damn names you could imagine. Some of these diets are called. How about the Huplink diet? How about the false Mayo Clinic diet? How about, this just makes me crazy. How about the cookie diet? How about the Sleeping Beauty diet? How about, the diet of Sleeping Beauty, the cookie diet. What else do we have here for all of you? Oh, the jaw wiring diet, the nibbling diet, on and on and on and on. When are you going to wake up? You can get mad at me as mad as you want. Somebody has to be mad as hell for all of you to fight for us to say, stop this madness. The whole damn healthcare system is going to collapse. If we're going to have 86% of us overweight, 86% overweight, obese, and 50% of those people are going to be pre-diabetic in 4 years, what do you think we're doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Can anybody put in the chat? You want to explain to me why you think diets work? Why would you think that? What evidence do you have? Oh, that you lost some weight? But you gained it all back. You all know that you yo-yo because the whole concept of dieting, calories in, calories out, is totally blown to hell. Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories. We've been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500 and you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning this decades of strategy is totally misguided. They went on to say the idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said, it's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. It's exactly what, look at her. She lost 21 pounds in a month. And Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. And how about April? 60 pounds in 3 months. You think there's any diet like this? And this is backed, listen, This protocol is now published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. What protocol are you all following? Who are you following? What possible medical evidence do they have backing up what they're telling you to do? This is this is crazy. Yeah, I get really emotional. I've been doing this for 23 years. And I've seen, from 1995 to 2025, the rates of obesity in this country have doubled, and you're all falling for it. You're all falling for this nonsense. Look at this. This is a 65-year-old man. How about 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month? And that's the least important part of his story. Look at his blood work, everybody. Look at his A1C. It went from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides, 242 to 124. This is not just about fitting in your skinny jeans. That's the default here. That's a given. We just go like, of course you're going to lose all the weight. But he pounds a week. He doesn't weigh 500 pounds. Look at this lady here. 200 pounds in about a year, and she's kept it off. Look at her. Look at that. You think it's Photoshop? 200 pounds. And then Janet over here, she lost 100 pounds. She's kept it off for 12 years. 12 years. All these people, there's no one on here that has not kept the weight off for at least 8 or 9 years, and all the pictures I've showed you so far. And then look, another one, Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in 30 days. So he lost, what, 1.5 pounds a day? You can think we made this up. If you think we made this up, you're on the wrong podcast. Then go follow the people that are drawing the things and going to charge you for recipes. Are you going to fall for that, really? Are you really going to fall for that? You're going to buy recipes? Do you think if it was that simple that you'd have in 4 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight and obese? That's on my numbers. You think I'm happy about that? Like I'm cheering? We're trying to prevent it. We're trying to educate you and show you you don't have to be part of the disaster. Does anyone really, please comment. This is live. Would anybody like to comment? Do you agree with me? Do you think that diets work? Do you think calories in, calories out is the way to lose weight? Do you think it's paleo or keto or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating or carnivore or count your macros or whatever, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Noom, or even the shots? Do you think that any of it works? It doesn't. It doesn't. We have so much evidence now proving these researchers who created this. He lost 45 pounds in a month, everybody, 1.5 pounds a day. But let's come back to this is the average. The average on this is 5 pounds a week, and they keep it off, and that's not even the main reason to do it. You know what this is? First and foremost, it's a detox. Yes. And they have the medical proof. They did the most extensive medical analysis ever done on any weight loss diet nutrition program in history. They didn't just look at the number on the scale. They looked at blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They looked at body composition. They looked at enzymes, a whole battery of tests. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. She was not allowed to exercise because they didn't want exercise to be an outlier. Otherwise, you say, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. Listen, am I making sense to all of you? Do you all get this? This is insanity. I see them on. They're on right now trying to sell you recipes, and people are falling for it. Why? Why won't you believe medical proof? You have it now. Now we have the medical proof. This is the breakthrough, unless you don't think that losing 5 pounds a week is good. But here's what we have. It's published. It's been published in the biggest medical journals in the world. None of this other stuff has. What would you like to do, everybody? What do you think it's all? See, the problem with a diet, it's always about a destination. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, then what? See, there's the now what part. What do you do next? Well, you go to the gym and you kill yourself trying not to maybe have the weight come back, but it does. There's no way in hell that you think that diets work. I don't think you do. In 4 years, if 86% of you are now destined to gain, to be overweight, obese, or 50% pre-diabetic. Doesn't this concern all of you? Aren't you a little bit like, what the heck? What is going on? Who's telling you the truth? Who? Who on social media? They're promoting things that there's nothing behind it. It's just air. It's like a Hollywood set where the town is, they painted it on cardboard. What's behind the door? Nothing. Yeah, I'm all fired up for all of you. But we have the medical proof for all of you. My gosh, are you not curious? How do you lose 5 pounds a week, 38 inches? And she only had 30 pounds to lose. And then you look at someone like, look at this, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60 in 3 months. How long would you, for any of you that need to lose 60 pounds, how long would you give yourself? I don't think it's 3 months. Okay, so I know that's my ranting, raving, whatever. Now let's talk about how do they do this. So let's use Kristen. And again, everybody, this is the averages. 5 pounds a week is nothing on this. Well, look at Curtis. 10 pounds. He's 65 years old. He loses 10 pounds a week at 52 inches. And look at his blood work. Are you kidding me? Are you not curious about this, everybody? Look at this. Yeah, I'm ranting because I'm just so damn sick and tired of this nonsense. I've spent 23 years of my life as a nutritional researcher, and looking at this outcome, it's like, what the heck? Go to Walmart, go to Kmart, look at America, look at the world. 2.5 billion people are overweight now in the world, and 1 billion of those are clinically obese. It's not just in the United States anymore. So what did they do? Well, first of all, the people who invented this are rated the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologists in the whole world. They had done 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people, every diet you could name. And you know what they concluded? You know what they found after 40 years of research, thousands, 100 studies? No diet ever worked long term, and 2/3 of everybody gained more weight than they lost. So let's start with that. That's not my opinion. I don't give you opinions. If you want opinions, you're on the wrong podcast. So what they said was this: we've got to totally abandon anything to do with calorie counting, because the human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. It doesn't know what calories is. It's the most ridiculous thing that we've ever come up with. Ever. Can anybody even give me the definition of a calorie? What's the medical definition? I'll keep talking, but you can put it in the chat. I want to see if any of you know. I didn't know what it was 24 years, a calorie. But you're all counting calories. At some form or another, that's what you're doing. So the researchers said what we need, the human body, you're alive because of 3 things: air, water, and not calories, nutrition. And what they said was the problem with all diets, when you really analyze them, at some point you were reducing the amount of food you were consuming. I don't care what you called it. But the problem with that, when you reduce the amount of food, you're reducing the amount of nutrition. The brain thinks you're starving to death because you are from a nutritional standpoint. And that's the only thing that runs all the organs in your body, your brain, your kidney, your liver, your heart. They run on nutrition. They don't run on calories. So what the researchers said, we're going to do something completely different. We're going to go find foods that we're going to recommend to people. We're going to put a grocery list together, which they did, which you would get for free. Exact same grocery list they gave to her and all the people in these published medical studies. And you're going to get a list, but only 30% of whatever you spent last month at the grocery store, you're only going to spend 30%. But what you're going to get? Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, but no calorie amounts, just serving sizes. You got it? Now, don't panic about serving size, because remember, these are the top people in the world. They're making sure you have adequate nutrition so you won't be hungry, okay? We got people weighing 500 pounds that are doing this. They're not hungry, okay? Now, that was 30% of the money you would actually spend, you'd buy from your grocery store. Got it? We coach you for free. We have nothing to sell you. The researchers don't have anything to sell you. 30% of your dollars that you spent last month, you go to the grocery store. The other 70%, you can't buy at your grocery store. It comes from other researchers who've gone around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. Got it? Now here's what's going to blow your mind. They invented a new way of eating. What? Yeah, a new way of eating. On what they did, they created something called protein pacing. What the heck's that? Well, they got a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. U.S. Patent Office recognized the new way of eating. Protein pacing was this. 5 or 7 days, you did 4 meals a day. You started with these exotic foods around the world. That was breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. You got it? So 5 days a week, you're having 4 meals a day. Nobody was hungry. And it has to be 4 meals. It can't be 3, 2, 1. No, none. They tried all that. None of it worked. 4 was and spaced out. That's why it's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Like I said, people who weighed 500 pounds on this, they weren't hungry. There were the diabetics, no one had insulin spikes. But let's look at the medical proof. Oh my gosh, wait till you hear this. Again, let me repeat, this is the most extensive medical evaluation of a diet, exercise, nutrition ever conducted in history. They did all kinds of tests. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, body composition, meaning the amount of visceral fat in relationship to how much lean muscle. They did brain cognition, all these tests. So the number one thing they found immediately was this is a detox. They proved this is helping the body get rid of the chemicals that we're all storing in our fat cells. Let me take a quick aside. How many of you believe we're living in a toxic world? How many of you saw the study from 3 months ago? They're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries. What else are they finding inside of us? Herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon stored inside of our fat cells. And see, when people say you burn fat on a diet or through exercise, it's a lie. It's just sciencely. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and those fat cells expand or contract. So when these people tell you you're burning, mostly what you're losing is fat, it's a complete lie. Run from them at that point. You run as fast as you can. Get the best Nikes or Adidas or whatever you want. Run like hell. They don't have no idea what they're talking about if they're trying to tell you you're burning fat. It's not possible. So what else they measured was inflammation. Inflammation for the first time in history came down 25% in 30 days. Every one of us, including me and you, we all suffer from inflammation. It's the underlying cause of pretty much every disease out there, according to the medical world. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making preventing any medical diseases, right? What else did they find? Hunger on this went down 40%. The need for insulin among the diabetics, it dropped by 41% to the point where the diabetics on meds, their doctors were monitoring them. They had to cut their meds by 50% in 30 days. Also, this is totally sustainable. The maintenance, that picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. I showed you Janet a minute ago. She lost 100 pounds. She's kept it off for 12 years. And then this couple, Michael and Sheila, he lost 15 pounds. She lost 10 in the first 11 days. And then they went on in 5 months. They each lost over 60 pounds each. I think she lost 62, he lost 65. But look, they've kept it off for 2.5 years. What are you all doing? You think you're going to try and tell me you have some kind of diet that's like this? What would it be? What would it be? This is going to change everything we ever thought. How can I lose my belly fat? Choco, I just explained it to you. Look at her belly. Look at how much it went down. Look at Julie. Her whole body shrank. Look at that. 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at that, everybody. You think it's Photoshop? Who in the world thinks that the diets you're on now work? Who would that be? We want to prevent you from... Go across social media. You'll see them. They're out there. They're talking about... People want to sell you diets. I mean, they want to sell you recipes and a system. There's no system. There's no medical proof behind it. It's just anybody can show you before and after. The difference with us, everything we're talking about is backed up, published in the 10 biggest medical journals in the world, like the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, Nature Communications. And this study right here, Nature Communications, the number one of the top medical journals in the whole world, wasn't anything to do with the weight loss on this. It was about the gut microbiome, your gut, basically your immune system, right? So gut microbiome remodeling, metabolic profile improves in response to protein pacing and intermittent nutritional fasting. This is proven medically. And how many of you do you think have gut issues? And those gut issues, guess what they do? They cause something in you you've probably never heard of called malabsorption. What does it mean? It means that when you ingest food, the body wants the nutrients, but how much of the nutrients is the body able to use? When you have malabsorption, very little of the nutrients are getting into the areas of the body to do any benefit. Why do you think you're so hungry? You're not hungry for calories, you're hungry for nutrition. So I'm just curious, would any of you like to think that you have a diet that works? What would it be? Any of you? I'd love to know. Do you understand they don't work in the long run? and that's not my opinion. I've got it. Here's Medicare, okay? You all have heard of Medicare, right? Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The reviewers at Medicare reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The study showed that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. That's Medicare telling you that. And are you so skeptical that you're going to hold on to this paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, fasting, Jenny Craig Weight Watchers, nutrition? I don't care what it is. None of them work. None of them work long-term. There's no way in 1964, we had 10 to 12% of the population overweight or obese. And they're saying 4 years from now, from when we're here, that 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese. So let's round it off to 90. That means it's a 600% increase in that time frame. 600% more of the population is overweight or obese than they were in 1964. And you're all falling victim to it. You're all falling for this nonsense. None of it works. None of it works. So who would like to ask me a question? If you're new, I went over how they did. And by the way, I didn't even tell you. See, visit the New Health Conversation. It's a free medical website for you to go to. Let me show you on Google. Go to the website, type in the new. It's got to be the New Health Conversation. Do you see it there? Now, it'll take you to Google. There's the link. Click on the link. It'll take you to the website. Why am I doing this? Because I want you to see there's nothing on this website to buy. The only thing there is the medical proof, including number one, it's an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world. And if you go to that website, we won't contact you. What? No. The medical proof is there. If you like what you see, only you get to determine. If you want to contact us, you can fill out a form. It says free coach. How much is the coaching? Free. How much is the consultation? Free. What's the cost of coaching? $0. I understand other people, they want you to buy their app to get recipes, and then they're going to show you how to do something that has no medical background. Buyer beware. That's all I can tell you. Buyer beware. Do you understand, being a researcher like I am, I only can rely on the medical proof. I don't have to do that, but that's what I do, because that's what's called irrefutable medical evidence. And when you look at all the studies and you look at how, I'll show you how ineffective diets are. Here's another big study. This is in the Journal of the American Medical Association. One thing about me, I have, this is a study, I'm holding it in my hand. The title was Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Adults. They did a 12-month study. They looked at 48 trials, 7,286 people, and they pretty much named all the major, it's in the study. So paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, fasting, Cornish zone, Atkins, Jenny Craig Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, on and on and on. After 12 months, some of the diets, after 12 months, the people ended up losing 11 pounds. That's not even a pound a month. And the most anybody lost was 16 pounds, and all the people that they tested, 25 to 40% of what they lost on any diet was lean muscle mass. That's what you're all facing. That, I don't care. I know I make people mad, and people don't want to stay on here, and they come off and they think they have an answer. You don't have an answer. The answer is that 86% of you are going to be overweight in 4 years. Then what? You're going to say, well, you know, that crazy researcher, he was correct. He was right. It's not about me being right. It's about supplying you with real medical proof. Real medical proof. And all the studies of which I've just got a plethora of them right here. They're all saying exactly the same thing. My God, one of the titles here is, listen to this big study. It's a big, thick one. The science behind why diets don't work. Listen to what these researchers said. Remember, this isn't my opinion I'm giving to you. Your opinion, I mean, in the medical world, your opinion is not going to hold up. Despite all the ads that say otherwise, our research has found that it's very rare for people to lose weight and keep it off for good. Not only that, 2/3 of people who diet regain more weight than they originally lost, ending up at a higher weight than when they started. A review of more than 30 long-term studies show that going on a diet actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does dieting not work for the long-term weight loss, but it's also associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. That's what you're doing to yourselves. This is a lifeline. We're throwing you a lifeline. We don't sell you anything. We don't have there's no products to buy. This is based on food and a new way of eating that you have no idea about. Otherwise, you'd be doing it. Otherwise, you could lose 5 pounds a week. Seriously, anybody, be honest. Help me out. If you wanted to lose 20 pounds on any of these, tell me. Put it in the chat. How long would you give yourself to lose 20 pounds? Seriously. I mean, I don't even... What? What are you talking about, Hassan Ridwan? What are you being a smart aleck? Is that it? Well, guess what? You're gone. See you later, alligator. These people that come on, they're just idiots. I mean, really. We're scientists trying to change the world, and they're coming on and go to bed. Really? Really? I mean, come on. But again, they'll be right down that road of being overweight and unhealthy because they think they have some solution or answer. They don't have any answer. They don't have any solution. The solution is in the medical proof, which we have that nobody else does. So who else would like to ask me a question? Who else would like to ask me a question here? I'm just curious. Are you at all interested in how you lose 21 pounds and 38 inches? It's just really sad. Here's the solution, medically proven. And people won't even stick around long enough to find out what is it. I mean, it's just like, what? Really? Really? That's it? I mean, she lost 5 pounds a week, and you're not interested in finding out how she did it, and it's totally safe, and it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world? I don't know. That sounds... Charisse. Yeah, 6 months. Look at that, Charisse. How excited would you be if you could lose 20 pounds in a month? Charisse, what would you think about that? Or look at this. How about, you said 6 months, okay? Well, how about 3 months to lose 60 pounds, Charisse? What do you think? Oh, sorry, I did the wrong one. Christine, why isn't it switching here? Hold on. Huh, that's really weird. Let me find out. It's just having trouble getting it to switch. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't show you the other pictures. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. All right, well, anyway, you're just going to have to roll with me, I guess. But anyway, how about, would you be unhappy, Charisse, with 5 pounds a week until you got to your goal? I mean, we got people on here we have worked with people that weigh as much as 600 pounds. 600 pounds, that's 300 kilos. And they lost weight. We have people with no thyroids. Yeah, they had their thyroids removed and they're still losing tremendous. We have kids as young as 2. We have a lady 91 years old. I mean, it's not a diet, everybody. This is not a diet. It's a detox. So Eli, do you have any questions for me? I don't know why this isn't working. That is really, I wonder what's going on. Did I click on the wrong thing? Studio mode, get rid of that. Okay, let me try this. Okay, there she is, 60 pounds. I clicked on the wrong thing. 60 pounds in 3 months. 60 pounds. That's 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. So Charisse, would that excite you? Charisse, it's more than interesting. We have the medical proof to back it up. As a matter of fact, are you curious, Charisse, about what she did? I'm happy to explain it to you because it's not a diet. It's nothing to do with counting calories. No exercise was involved. So Charisse, if you don't mind, how much are you trying to lose? How tall are you and how much do you weigh and how much would you like to weigh? And I'll tell you exactly how quickly you could have it happen. If you want to tell me, and I'm happy, this is live, so I'm giving you, this is all of our coaching, everything that we do for you is free. We charge for we don't have anything to sell. There are no products involved here. The Charisse and everybody else, this involves food from your grocery store, a very specific group of foods with high levels of nutrition. That's only 30% of what you actually would purchase or buy from your grocery store. The other 70%, you don't buy it from us. You buy directly from these other researchers who'd gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, Charisse, but small amounts of food by quantity, okay? Then, yeah, okay. Sure, 60 to lose 250 pounds, 5'9". Well, imagine losing it in 3 months. How much would that excite you, Charisse? And I'm explaining to you now what they did. Let me back up. So, Charisse, you get a grocery list that you take to your grocery store that the researchers developed of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. No calorie amounts, Charisse, no calorie counting on this. Only serving sizes, okay? But that's only 30% of what you would buy. The other 70% you'd buy out of your whatever you spent last month, because the total of this is about what you spent, maybe a little bit more. Those foods you can't buy at your grocery store. They come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. They represent huge amounts of nutrition in small amounts of food. You got it, Charisse and everybody else? Then what they did was this. They put together a completely new way of eating called protein pacing. And what does that mean? It means that 5 days a week, you would have 4 meals a day. You'd start with these exotic foods around the world. That's your breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner. Imagine on a diet having 4 meals a day. That's what you do on this. Then 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, Charisse, you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to eat every hour and a half or 2 hours over the course of a day. Now, the other part of this you need to understand, all of you, this is the most comprehensive medical evaluation of diets ever done. All this other stuff you're seeing, they don't have any proof. It's all nonsense. It's total nonsense. It's just opinions. It doesn't mean a damn thing. This case, they did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, muscle composition, etc. And what did they find? This is a detox, Charisse. They proved that this was assisting her body, removing the chemicals. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach. Nothing is Photoshopped. That's all real. She not only didn't she lose any lean muscle, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass, if you can believe it. And the same thing with Kristen, 20 pounds in a month. Now look at this 65-year-old man. Charisse, what do you think about that? 40 pounds in a month. And then Andy, a younger guy, 45 pounds in a month. And then Christopher, 43 pounds in 29 days. Actually, in 30 days, he ended up losing about 45 or 46 pounds. I mean, it's just, this is, Charisse, have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, Charisse, it's so powerful that in the first 4 days, you'll probably lose 10 pounds in 4 days. I'm not kidding you. And none of it's water weight, and you're losing no lean muscle. You're going to have energy, feel fantastic, because first and foremost, this is a what? A detox. Secondly, they proved it. Inflammation, which plagues you and me, Charisse, is the underlying cause of every disease out there. It came down 25% in a month. The big part about this, too, is maintenance. She's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. All these people I showed you, they've all kept the weight off. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. I understand you're all struggling with the fact you think we're making it up. If you really believe we're faking you out, you're on the wrong podcast. Go follow these other influencers that don't have any medical proof at all, nothing but hyperbole. And people, right now, they're getting ripped off. They're buying recipes. Really? What a great business that would be. Recipes? Oh my gosh. That's all I can say really about this. Is the only medical proof there is on all social media. So who else would like to ask me a question? So Charisse, does this sound... Now Charisse, you understand what you can do is go to that visit, see right above her head, visit the New Health Conversation. Can you see that? Give me a yes. Some people say they have trouble reading it. And if you make it easier, go to Google and type in the New Health Conversation. You can see it right there. It's going to take you to the link. And notice it's the New Health... There it is, the New Health Conversation. And it takes you... There's the website. There's nothing to buy on that website, Charisse, or anybody else. Only thing there is the medical proof, including number 1 is an exclusive podcast with the number 1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. They invented this. You can't buy anything. There's nothing to buy on that website. But if you like what you see, Charisse, you can scroll down, or any of you, and you can get a free coach. The coaching, how expensive is the coaching, everybody? It's free. We get people all the time coming on here and they say, hey, how much is that? What's the cost of coaching? What do you mean the coaching's free? The coaching's free. We all got coached and we have no products to sell you. I know it sounds too good to be true, but we're researchers. We're bringing you the research. That's what we do. That's what our goal is, to make you aware. So who else would like to ask me a question? Oh, we got some hearts coming there. We got a few likes anyway. So who else would like to ask me a question? Wow. We have a pretty small audience, I guess. So Charisse, does this make sense? Do you understand you can go to the New Health Conversation? Right there above her head, visit the New Health Conversation. There's your weight loss right there that you want. I mean, think about it. By Thanksgiving, you could be down 60 or even 70 pounds. So you have 5, you're very tall, that's good. You want to lose 60. I would probably want you to lose even more than that, and it's really possible. But let's just say 60 for right now, okay? But, so what do you think, Charisse? Do you see the website? Do you understand you can go there and we won't contact you? We won't contact anybody if you go there. So in not for you 217s and Eli, would any of you like to ask me a question? I mean, the point is, everybody, listen, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days. If that doesn't create people's curiosity, I don't know what else to do. I see these people coming on, they're saying, lose 20 pounds in a month and it's mostly fat. No, it's not. That's a complete lie. You can't lose fat on a diet or exercise. I'm sorry, that maybe breaks up your myths, but that's true. There's no such thing as burning fat. It's nonsense. It's just total nonsense. It's made up. Just like counting calories is dead. It's over. It's finished. Oh, Amor 3S. I'm excited to explore this. Wonderful, Amor. Amor, did you hear me explain how you do this? Did you get a chance to hear that? Because if you didn't, I'm happy to go over it with you. And please give me your comments. What do you think about that? I mean, I want you to comment. It's live. I'm here. I'm going to answer any and all your questions free. I'm a nutritional researcher for 23 years. But what do you think about that? Oh, you came in at the end. Okay, I will explain it to you. But before I do that, so how tall are you and how much do you weigh and what would you like to weigh? You don't have to do it, but it helps me to explain it to you in terms of how quickly you could do it. I'm going to look now, Charisse says. There are already people going to the website. Well, they got to hear how it was. And I promise I'm going to explain it to you. But if you could tell me how tall you are, how much you weigh, and what you think you should weigh, and I'll give you honest. If I say, wow, you're tall. I get all these tall women today. No. Okay, 194, would like to reach 150. No, in my world, max 140, which means you're at 54 pounds. Amor, how excited would you be if in the first 4 days you lose 6 to 10 pounds in just the first 4 days? The first month you'll lose, just like she did, you'll lose at least, in your case, you'll probably lose 25 pounds in a month. So let's say I'm settling on, what did I tell you? I want you to be 140, so that's 54 pounds. Easily, okay? Okay, Sasha, I'll get to you in a moment. So Amor, by the end of October, minimum, you'll be at 140. How much would that excite you? Now, Rashar, so I'm 40 at 152. I'm 179 pounds. I'm diabetic on insulin. Oh my gosh. So Sasha, look at this. Look at this. Look at his A1C, Sasha. Can you see that? It went from 8.4 to 6.4 in 30 days. It was such a dramatic drop that the doctors cut his medication. He's a diabetic. They cut his meds by 50% in 30 days. He lost 40 pounds, 20 kilos in 30 days. What do you think about that, Sasha? Yeah, months. Glad to be here, Chris. Chris is here. Okay, so let me go. Sasha and Amor and Cherie, everybody. I'm going to explain to you now what they did. Let's come back over here to the reason I like her. She only had 30 pounds to lose. She lost 21 pounds in a month. I mean, Amor or Sasha, how excited would you be if you could lose 21 pounds in a month or 10 kilos in a month? Who would be excited about that, right? Okay, how did they do it? It was invented, I'm going to go over it with everybody. It was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, rated the top people. They had done 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people, and you know what they concluded? No diet worked long-term, and 2/3 of everybody on every diet they ever studied gained back more weight than they lost. It wasn't they just came back to where they started. They ended up weighing more than when they started. So what they said, the main fallacy on diets, this will shock you all, no calorie counting at all. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. I didn't know what calories were. I doubt that most of you could give me the medical definition of a calorie. So what they did, they said, we need to do something different. Your body, you're alive because of three things: air, water, not calories, nutrition. So the focus was, can we, the researchers, which they did, identify foods where we're going to give you less food, but more nutrition? Because that's the only thing your body cares about. The only way you can ever be hungry is not because of lack of calories, because of lack of nutrition. You got it? So here's what they did. They put a grocery list together. You literally would have a grocery list. You'd take it to your grocery store. It has on it proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of calorie amounts, you're going to have serving sizes. But only 30% of whatever you spent last month, you'd actually buy at your grocery store, because these are much smaller quantities than what you're used to. But don't worry, you're not going to be hungry. We have people who weigh 500 pounds. They're not hungry. You never were hungry for calories. It's impossible. You can't be hungry for calories. Your body doesn't know what they are. But your body knows about nutrition, right? So 30% of what you would buy, whatever you spent last month on groceries, take 30% of those dollars you're going to buy at the grocery store. What about the other 70%? This is the key to how it worked. These researchers found other researchers who for 20 years had gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, in the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. Then what did they do? They invented, based on that, these new food groups based on nutrition, not calorie counting, nothing to do with calories. They created a new way of eating called protein pacing. It's so amazing that the U.S. Patent Office granted them a registered trademark for this new way of eating. So what did she do? 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with what the researchers call these exotic foods around the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. Now, why are they saying that? They're saying unless you're on a doctor's prescription for low iron or calcium, you need no other supplements once you start to eat these foods from around the world. Got it? So her breakfast, the world's most perfect meal. Nothing from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store. Dinner with your family or whatever, your spouse or whoever. Dinner with the grocery list. And a fourth meal after dinner, these world's most perfect meals. You ever heard of that on a diet? You're having 4 meals a day? I know you haven't. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store. Only these exotic foods from around the world's most perfect meals. This time you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Unheard of. Now the diabetics in this, there were no insulin spikes. None. No insulin spikes. Then what they did the most comprehensive medical evaluation ever done on diet, nutrition, and health. They did, listen to all the stuff they did. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, body composition. They look at blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, I mean, a whole host of things. So let's start with the most basic things. Number one, by looking at blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, they proved, guess what this is? It is a detox. They proved it. Now, if you look at her stomach on day 1 and you look at her stomach on day 30, that most women on this lose a whole dress size in the first 7 days. How much would that excite you more, or Sasha? A whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise, and she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. I mean, is that crazy good? Now, what else did they see? Inflammation came down 25% in a month. Sasha, Amor, we all suffer from inflammation. It came down 25% in 30 days. Hunger came down 40%. The need for insulin, Sasha, I just said that, it came down 41%. The diabetics, they all had to cut their meds by 50% in just 30 days. And the other thing about this, it's sustainable. The picture you're looking at there is 8 or 9 years old. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. They all have. When you look at April, 60 pounds in 3 months. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. And then you look at Curtis, 40 pounds in a month. Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in 30 days. Look at his A1C, went from 7.9 to 6.2. All the diabetics thrived on this, Sasha. Thrived. And I didn't even ask you, are you a type 1 or a type 2? Okay? I know, Sasha. I know it's exciting. You're exciting me, everybody. You lift me up when I see people that get it. Not people that make ridiculous comments like go to bed. Really? That's just so disrespectful. Why? Why do people have to be so antagonistic? I mean, I don't know. I'm a very nice person. I've devoted 23 years of my life to nutritional research, okay? And this, I didn't invent this, but we're bringing it to you. Our only job on this site is to make you aware. So you all can go to free, the New Health Conversation. I'm going to show it to you in Google. Go to Google, excuse me, everybody. You go to the New Health Conversation. It's the New Health Conversation. It'll take you to the link on Google. You'll see it. There it is. Click on the New Health Conversation and boom, there's the website. Nothing to buy. The only thing there is medical proof. And if you go there, we won't contact you. No way. Because we believe we're going to let the medical research do all the talking for us. Then if you're interested, scroll down, you get a free coach. Now, one other thing I want to show to all of you that's really cool. This is the #1 women's magazine in the world. June 9th this year, this article, a mom and daughter. The daughter's a nurse. She's 57 years old. She lost 50 pounds, 25 kilos in 3 months. The mom, who turns 81 in October, in a year, lost 104 pounds. They both kept it up for 3 years. I coached both of these women, okay? I mean, I think the mom went from a double X, and now I think she's like a 10 or a 12 at 81 years of age. I mean, you got to understand, you don't get on the cover of Women's World if this isn't real. How come these other influencers you're watching, how come they're not on the cover of Women's World? Why? Because they don't have any medical proof. These results are published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, for all of you to know. Like in journals like in the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, Nature Communications, the #1 or 2 medical journals in the entire world. This is going to change everything. If you're smart enough, not because of me, but if you're on this website, what I would invite you to do is go to the website, look at the medical proof. What do you have to lose? Well, that's not a pun. You obviously could lose weight, but we got kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91. We have somebody with people with no thyroids. No thyroids. Hello? Goiter, Hashimoto's, hyperthyroidism. I mean, it's crazy. We have the medical proof. Nobody else does. Nobody else does. Yeah, why is food measured in calories? Because someone came up with it. I mean, let me read to you from the researchers. Chris, you'll appreciate this. The deadly delusion of calorie counting. Abandon calories in, calories out now. These are the top researchers, weight loss researchers in the world. Here's what they said. Calories in, calories out is a dangerous fraud. The body completely ignores calories, which are merely a lab-invented unit of energy with no corresponding biological sensor or mechanism. Instead, your body craves essential air, water, and nutrition to function, where hunger acts as a signal for nutritional deficiencies, not calorie deficiencies, rendering calorie tracking not just ineffective, but a harmful distraction that perpetuates obesity cycles and dieting failures. So Amor or Sasha, does that sound like diets work? I'm sure you agree they don't work. Are you all excited to go to the website? And if you like, only if you like what you see, you can get a free coach. I don't know, what more can we do than that for all of you, right? Yes, Amor, exciting, cool. Oh my, Chris is saying, oh my. But let me show you some more evidence here about calorie counting and the failure of diets that you're all on and you're thinking about it, you were on. The title, The Grand Myth of Traditional Diets, a devastating cycle of failure and false promises. This is another set of researchers. Listen to what they said. Traditional diets, be they low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro-counting obsessions, or the latest fad, this time-restricted eating, seduces millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. But the brutal truth, etched in decades of unyielding scientific evidence, shatters this illusion. These diets deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regain of all the weight, negligible long-term medical benefits, and the hidden toll on your body, the loss of 25 to 40% of your precious lean muscle mass, accelerating metabolic slowdown, and making you less healthy. That's what you're doing to yourselves on all these diets. And again, the influences out there, people are spending their money on, they might as well, why don't you just count sheep? They're out there doing things like that time-restricted eating. It doesn't work. I don't give a damn what they're showing you before and afters. If it worked, where's the medical proof to back it up? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But it's paleo, keto, Mediterranean, carnivore, count your macros, another nonsense deal. Nonsense. They don't get it. They don't get it. In 4 years, if 86% of you are overweight, obese, and 50% of those are pre-diabetic, how are we going to cope with this? That's in 4 years. 4 years, not 40, 4 years. And what are we doing? Calories in, calories out. Why are you doing that? Why in the world are you doing this? Because you don't know what else to do. Not because you're not smart. We're making it available to you for free. This is a free website, the New Health Conversation. Go to that. Look at it. Come on, everybody. 35 pounds in 37 days. That's almost a pound a day. Have any of you ever had anything like that? Be honest. Put it in the chat. Tell me, do you think it's fake? You think we photoshopped? Do you think we photo hacked it? Because if you do, you're on the wrong podcast. I'm serious. If you think we're not telling you the truth, we can't make up what's published in the world's top medical journals. It's what's called irrefutable medical evidence. It's not a claim. This is the medical proof. They validated this, and it's safe, and it works. And the world needs this solution. You need this solution. Like I said, we got kids as young as 2 doing this. We got a lady 91 years old. People with no thyroids, got to have a heart transplant, kidney transplant, no gallbladders. So we're not treating, curing, preventing, or diagnosing any medical conditions. We're not doing that. All we're doing is sharing with you what's in the medical, what did they find? You'll see all the numbers in there. I've got a list here. Listen to what they found in 30 days. Fat went down 11, shrank by, you can't lose fat, but the size of the fat shrank by 11%. Muscle mass increased 6 to 9%. Blood sugar dropped 6.2%. Need for insulin went down 41%. Cholesterol down 15%. Bad cholesterol down 13%. Triglycerides down 24%. Hunger dropped 40%. And most women on this lost a whole dress size in 7 days. 7 days with no exercise. So, Amor or Sasha, what do you think? Can you even imagine Amor dropping a whole dress size in a week with no exercise? How much would that excite you? So again, I want to encourage all of you to go to the website. You can see it right there above our head. Proof at the New Health. Go to the New Health Conversation. It's all there for you to see. It's all free. There's no tricks. There's no gimmicks. It's not like you go there and now we're going to charge you for something. Moni, how do I lose it? Okay, let me explain it to you again. So Moni, first of all, who invented it? Not us. There's no products to buy. This is food. The researchers who invented it, Moni, are rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. We've created a free website that'll back up everything I'm going to explain to you right now in about 2 minutes. I mean, it's only going to take me 2 minutes you're going to wait 2 minutes. I'm going to explain it to you. But you can go afterwards, you can go to that website. If you like what you see, notice free coaching. You get a free coach to explain everything to you. You don't buy anything from the coaches. You don't buy anything from us, period. So what the researchers said is they had done 100 studies, Moni, over 40 years. And they never found a diet that worked. And the reason they said was the whole premise behind all diets is crazy. All a diet is, forget counting calories. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It's never counted a calorie in its entire existence. The only thing your body cares about, well, you're alive because of 3 things: air, water, and not calories, nutrition. So the researchers said the problem they found on all these diets at the end of the day was some scheme to reduce the amount of food, or like, for example, on a keto diet where you're eliminating carbohydrates. That's ridiculous because you need complex carbohydrates, not simple carbohydrates. But I won't digress. So the researchers said, what we're going to do, we're going to create a new way of eating and a whole new way of looking at this. We're going to eliminate all calorie counting. There is no calorie counting money on this at all. What they did instead, they put together food groups. 30%, whatever you spent last month at the grocery store, you're going to get a grocery list that you take to your grocery store, but only 30% of what you spent last month you would spend on this: proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they're giving you serving sizes. Hopefully that all makes sense. But there's only 30% of what you would consume and 30% of what you'd spend of your money. The balance of your money pretty much will pay for these other foods that don't come from your grocery store, aren't available in your grocery store, aren't available from an organic source or the farmer's market. They come from these other researchers who'd gone around the world for 20 years to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition and smaller amounts of food. Then they had and started a new way of eating. I will not misspeaking. It's called protein pacing. It's so amazing that the U.S. Patent Office granted these researchers a registered trademark of this new way of eating. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. That was her breakfast. No food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. Now, don't try and outguess this. They proved it. It works. Look at the results, all right? Then 2 days a week out of 7, until you lose your weight, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to be eating these about every hour and a half or 2 hours. Now, here was the other thing, Monique, that's so amazing about this. This was the most comprehensive medical evaluation of a weight loss nutrition health program ever done. They did massive analysis. They did blood, sugar, stool, urine analysis, proving that this was a detox, which it is. They absolutely proved this was removing chemicals from the body. Look at her stomach on day 1, Moni, and then look at her stomach on day 30. That's with no exercise. See what's happening to you and me and everybody. We're breathing, drinking, eating chemicals, whether you know it or not. As those enter your body takes the chemical and stuffs it inside your fat cell, specific fat around your organs called your visceral fat. No diet touches this. No diet's ever been shown to remove a gram of toxins from the body. This does. That's why she shrank so much with, and by the way, no one was allowed to exercise. They wore Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. That shows you how dramatic. Now, they're not against exercise. You certainly can exercise, but that's also why you get a coach, okay? But they eliminated exercise in this because otherwise you say, well, they lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. No exercise allowed. Like I said, they were Fitbits. Now, the second thing that, of many of the things they found, inflammation, for the first time ever, went down 25% in a month, and you and me and everybody suffers from inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, preventing any medical diseases. Don't hear me say that. The other thing they found is that blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all went down dramatically. Hunger went down 40% in a month. The need for insulin among the diabetics went down 41%. And the diabetics on this, on meds, their doctors had to cut their meds by 50% in 30 days. I said before, most women lose a whole dress size in 7 days on this, okay? Now, the other part that's incredible is maintenance. She's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. Maintenance is simple. Each morning, like this morning for breakfast, I had the world's most perfect meal. I already had lunch today. I'm going to have dinner when I go home. And then every couple months, I'll do another 48 hours of the 8 times a day. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, Monique, and I've kept it off for 23 years. When you look at her picture, it's 8. When you look at April, she lost 60 pounds in 3 months. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. When you look at, this guy's 65 years old. He lost 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month. And look at his A1C. It went from 8.4 to 6.4. His his triglycerides, 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. This is real. Florida Texan, how can I start? Okay. How do I lose it? Okay, so Texan, here's how you start. Go to Google. You see it there. Type in the new health conversation, okay? And it'll take you to the link in Google. Do you see it there? Give me a yes if you see it, the new health conversation. There's the website. There's nothing on that website to buy. We won't contact you if you go to that website. But once you see the medical proof, which is the only thing on there, then you can scroll down and get a free coach, and they'll show you, and they coach you for free. Florida Texan, they coach you for free. There's no charge. How much is the coaching? $0. How much is the analysis? $0. How much is the consultation? $0. We all got coached. I know it sounds good to be true, but what do you, you can think we're lying. If you go there, we won't contact you. I don't care what you think. We're not going to contact you. Why? We shouldn't have to convince you. The medical proof is there for you to see. If that doesn't convince you, then we don't have time to try and convince you or sell you, but we'll answer all your questions. And then those coaches, they're going to coach you the whole time. They'll call you on the phone, they'll text you, they'll email, whatever you decide. As much support as you need. You've never done anything like this. In addition, Florida Texan, the researchers, this is what they gave the people in the medical studies. You can read it there, the Blueprint for Success, and the yellows there, they're all daily videos from the researchers who invented this. They don't have any products to sell. But they spent their whole lives trying to crack the code on obesity, and they did it, and they want to give the gift to humanity to explain to people. They're telling you why you're doing it, why it's safe, why it's different, why traditional diets just don't work. They've done 40 years, 100 studies proving diets didn't work. That's how they came up with this. Excuse me, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Florida Texan? And can you read it? Can you read right there, visit the New Health Conversation? That's what starts everything for you. You get coached for free. Oh, the other part I didn't even tell everybody. Only 30% of what you would spend is at your grocery store. You get a grocery list of proteins, fats, carbs, and fruits and vegetables. The other 70% you're buying from these other researchers who'd gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. 70% of what you're going to spend. Those researchers, in the first 30 days, let's say it doesn't work, you didn't like it, they'll give you all your money back. It comes with a 100% money back guarantee. But I want to clarify, if you go to the website, it'll say 100% money back guarantee. That doesn't cover the 30% of the food you're buying from the grocery store. But think about this. You're buying food for a month, huh? Like, see, if you do the shot, for example, you still have to buy food. You're feeding yourself for a month just completely differently than you've ever done before, than anybody's ever done. But look at the results. Look at those results, everybody. And look at this lady, everybody. 200 pounds in a year, and she's kept it off. Where's the loose skin? Where's the surgery? She didn't have any. What do you think about that, everybody? Please put it in the chat. And here's a smaller version, but what about 60 pounds in 3 months? 60, that's averaging 5 pounds a week. You're all excited about, right? Am I right? About a half a pound to a pound a week? Is that really good on any diet any of you have ever been on? This is going to change the world. So Florida Texan, yes, you understand what I'm just, oh, great, Florida Texan. If you don't mind, Florida Texan, and you're live with me, and I want all of you to know, not that I'm not trying to impress you, I'm a nutrition researcher for 23 years. I wrote 4 best-selling books, some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on public broadcasting, interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America, and 1,500 live lectures in hospitals and universities and towns around the world. They even flew me to China. I was a keynote at Autism One in Chicago about 10 years ago, 2 years in a row, the largest autism conference in the world. So I think I have a little bit of credibility. I'm not just some guy up here yakking. I know I irritate a lot of people because you want me to get to it so fast. No, it's like I'm explaining the science so you understand why you'd want to spend your time. Go to the website and look at the medical proof. I don't want you to believe me. You shouldn't have to believe me. What are we doing for you? We're bringing you the medical proof, and then we'll show you how to do this for free. How much is the coaching, everybody? Do you get it? Free, right? So Florida Texan, like I said, if you don't mind, you don't have to. I'm just curious, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? And what do you think you should weigh? Because I'll tell you how quickly you can do it. Well, who would be unhappy with 5 pounds a week? Who would be unhappy with that, right? 5 pounds a week with no exercise. And she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. So did she. Look at her face, arms, body. Look at how much it shrank. This is not a diet. It doesn't work like that. And when you talk about, look at this guy, 34 pounds in 29 days. Look at his body. How much? That's over a pound a day. I mean, hello? Am I getting your attention now? I mean, and then let's say that here's a couple. Look at this. Michael lost 15 pounds, his wife Sheila 10 pounds in the first 11 days on this. And in 5 months, they each lost over 60 pounds. She 62, him 65, but they've kept it off for 2.5 years. Look at the before and after. Is that the same? Are those the same people? Did they get new bodies? I understand you think this isn't real. That's okay. But what's so different about it is these results are all proven and published in the 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. That should convince you. That should excite you. That should get your attention. Or not. So again, who else would like to ask me a question? So Florida Texan, hopefully you're excited about going there and seeing so I'm 5'3", 288, I want to be 150. Florida Texan, okay, I'm gonna get you really excited, okay? Menopause, this does wonders for menopause. No, Genome King, I'm very sorry. Calorie counting is dead. I'll explain it to you in just a moment. But Florida, so I want you to be maximum 130. So that's going to be 100. I'll tell you this. How excited would you be, Florida, if in the first 4 days you lose at least 10 pounds in just 4 days? The first month you'll lose 25 or 30 pounds, and it just goes from there. Carry distance for the win. What are you saying? No, it isn't. Diabetic Jess, Diabetic Texan. Genome King, here's the thing, okay? Even Harvard Medical School, let's go. I think they're a little smarter than you and me. So stop counting calories. This is Harvard Medical School genome. we've all been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500 and you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. But let's go to Medicare genome, okay? This is a big study they just published. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Our researchers reviewed long-term studies of calories in, calories out, restricted diets to assess whether any diet by counting calories is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of all the people in all the studies gained back more weight than they lost. Genome, sorry, calorie counting is dead. It's over. It's finished. By the way, I would challenge any of you to give me the medical definition of a calorie. I didn't know what it was 25 years ago. We're counting calories. The problem with calories in, calories out, the body has no idea what a calorie is. It can't count a calorie. It has no idea. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. It's a physical impossibility. It's all nonsense. So all these people touting this calories in, calories out, there's not one study that supports it. Another big study right here, the science behind why diets don't work. Despite the ads that say otherwise, it's very rare for people by counting calories to keep weight off for good. Not only that, 2/3 of the people who count calories regain more weight than they originally lost, ending up at a higher weight than they started. In a review of more than 30 long-term studies showing that calories in, calories out diet actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does calories in, calories out dieting not work for long-term weight loss, but it's also associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. So again, Genome, you don't understand. I can't be incorrect. I can't be incorrect because we have peer reviewed. You're incorrect. No, oh, thermodynamics. I'm so glad you brought that up. What a bunch of bull. Okay, let's look at here's where you're totally wrong. For decades, the conventional wisdom surrounding weight loss have been dominated by a simplistic formula: eat less, move more. The advice has been framed around the idea that calories as a unit of energy can be managed like an equation, calories in, calories out. But as it turns out, but if this is true, then why are 86% of Americans going to be overweight or obese in 4 years with widespread adherence to calorie counting diets and fitness? The answer lies in the deep biological complexities that govern our bodies, which are far more intricate than the laws of thermodynamics. At the heart of the calorie theory is the first law of thermodynamics, which asserts that energy cannot be created or destroyed or transformed. This principle applies to a closed-loop system where energy is conserved. However, the human body is not a closed-loop system. It's constantly interacting with the environment, expelling heat, sweating, and releasing waste. This makes the first law of thermodynamics totally false, non-applicable, sorry. For example, so then, simply put, our body is constantly losing energy in ways that aren't captured by basic thermodynamics. This is where the second law of thermodynamics into play, which is called entropy, the measure of energy that cannot be used for work in biological systems that are open. Thermodynamics doesn't apply. Sorry, buddy, you're wrong, okay? You're wrong, okay? Thermodynamics is a closed-loop system. The human body is an open system. End of the discussion. Over. Finished. Okay? Got it? Got it? I get this all the time. If calorie counting worked, how could we be looking at 86% of the population being overweight in 4 years, according to Johns Hopkins Medical School? Right? They'll take care of everything. They'll reach out to you, Florida Texan. Don't worry about it. What are you laughing at, Genome? I just read to you. If you're arguing thermodynamics, what planet are you on? What planet do you live on? Are you an alien? Do you come from a different planet? Thermodynamics doesn't apply to human body. Calorie counting is dead. It doesn't work. It's never worked. There's never been a study proving that calories in, calories out work long term, ever. Show me a medical study to prove it. Show me calories in, calories out that works. Where's your study? You don't have one. The studies are clear. None of these diets work. Calories in, calories. What a bunch of nonsense. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It can't count calories. So how could you be counting calories? For what? For what purpose would you be counting calories? What purpose? What would it serve? What would it serve? No, I'm not incorrect. I just read the medical explanation from, I don't want to argue with you anymore. As a matter of fact, sorry, everybody, I've got somebody at my door. I'll be right back. So again, none of these people in any of these were allowed to count calories. Absolutely no calorie counting whatsoever. It's just ridiculous argument, ridiculous. A calorie is not a real thing, it's a measurement. Your body can't count calories. But again, people want to argue this point. I don't know why. I guess they think they're right. But I only go, on my TikTok site at the New Health Conversation, you'll see there's a 4-part series with the rated number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world. He did a 4-part series on why calorie counting, they did 100 studies over 40 years, calories in, calories out. It never worked. So again, I always welcome people's comments, but it's ridiculous when you're trying to, Genome King, you're trying to tell me that it's about calorie thermodynamics. No, it's not. And you can't show me one study showing that calorie reduction ever resulted in long-term weight loss that people were able to keep off. Well, in 1995 to 2025, the obesity rates in this country have doubled. There's more diets than ever. They're all based on some form of calories in, calories out. It's just total hogwash. The researchers said, here's what they said. It's not my opinion. Let me find the direct quotes here from the researchers. When Harvard Medical School is saying stop counting calories, okay, that's good enough for me. But here's the other problem. The grand myth of traditional diets, calories in, calories out, a devastating cycle of failure and false promises. Traditional diets, be they low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro-counting obsessions, or the last fad, time-restricted eating, seduce millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. But the brutal truth is etched in decades of unyielding scientific evidence, shatters this illusion. These diets deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regain, negligible long-term medical benefits, and the hidden toll of crucially losing up to 25 to 40% of lean muscle mass, slowing down metabolism, and slowing down your own immune system. They did an analysis, a 12-month analysis. They looked at low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro-counting, and time-restricted eating. The least amount of weight on some of the diets, only the weight loss in a year, this is in a year, was 11 pounds. The most anybody lost on any of these stupid diets was 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what people lost on every diet was lean muscle mass. End of the story. End of the story. So people giving me opinions, it's nice, but there's nothing to back it up. It's just your opinion. So anyway, who else would like to ask me a question? So we kind of had that discussion, all right? So Genome, I'm sure you're a nice person, but you can't possibly think that what you're talking about has any validity based on the medical world and the studies that have been done, okay? So who else would like to ask me a question? We've been a little bit about an hour and 20 minutes now. I'm going to do one more. I'll take one more series of questions. I'm going to the website tonight before. Great. Press Snap. Great. Wonderful. I'll be, make sure. I want to talk to you about Shador or whatever. Okay? I'm so happy. That's great. That's great. That's great. So, yeah, Dan, don't waste your time. He's trying to argue that this is based on thermodynamics. It's just a waste of time. I'm sure he's a nice person and he's entitled to his opinions, but he's not the top weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world, rated the number one. It's not worth arguing because they're so set in their ways. They really believe this nonsense and don't believe your lying eyes. Go to the mall, go to Kmart, Walmart. Our calorie counting, how the hell's that working? It's not. It's just that simple. And all of you, if you're willing to be fooled, go on whatever diet. Count calories till you're blue in the face. It's just complete and utter nonsense. It doesn't work. We have a year's worth of studies done by the Journal of the American Medical Association where they looked at 48 different trials, 7,286 people over 12 months on every diet out there, they named them all, keto, Mediterranean, paleo, fasting, time-restricted eating, Jenny Craig Weight Watchers Nutrisystem. After a year's time, the most amount of weight loss, again, was 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass. Now let's take a look at the shots, which we're not against. Everybody's doing GLP-1s now. By the way, all a GLP-1 is, it slows down the food moving through your digestive tract, so you're getting less food, but you're also getting less nutrition. So what were the results after 68 weeks, a year and 4 months? And we're not against the shots. They're helping diabetics and they're helping people morbidly obese. But let's look at the reality of what are people really losing. At once weekly semaglutide in adults overweight or obese, 68 weeks, the weight loss was 32 pounds and 40% of what people lost was lean muscle mass, just like I've been saying. I mean, the problem is we have all these myths and opinions out there that are not backed by any none of the medical studies back it up. They're saying that we're failing miserably. Yeah, back to thermodynamics, haha, I agree with you. Chris, I'm sure you would agree with the same. We have health professionals on here. Thermodynamics is just a worn out old theory that has no application in reality. Because it's not. It's based on a closed loop system, and the human body is an open loop system. You can't apply something. It's like a round peg in a square hole. The harder you hit it with the bigger hammer, it's never going to fit in that round hole. Thermodynamics doesn't apply. How do you apply, if it's a closed loop system and the human body is an open loop system, how do you make that correlation? You don't, everybody. But that's also why 86% of you are going to be overweight and obese in just 4 years. Wow, crude pre-snap, that would be terrific, terrific. Well, I'll look forward to, maybe we can connect as soon as tomorrow, okay? I know you're in British Columbia, so we'll see how that works, okay? All right, everybody, I'm going to end this now, and tomorrow morning, just to let you know, I'll be coming live at 8 a.m. Eastern time. That's a little too early for you, Press Snap. That's going to be 5 a.m. your time. Not that you need to come on. And I promise I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to you probably in the morning because I'm leaving my office right now, and actually my web guys need to do some work on my site, so I won't even have my computer with me tonight. But the rest of you, thank you all for being here. I invite all of you to go visit the New Health Conversation. It's a free medical website where you can all go to see the medical proof. There's nothing on that website to buy. And if you go there, we won't contact you. But you can get free coaching by scrolling down once you've seen the medical proof for free. How much is the coaching? Free. These other people are trying to charge you for recipes. Really? Are you going to fall for that? Are you really going to fall for that? Let the buyer beware. That's all I'm telling you. And show me what they're talking about. Anybody. I'd love for anybody to put in the chat a diet or what they're claiming that has peer-reviewed human trial medical studies behind it. I'm in studio. Yes, absolutely. I'm in studio because I have lights and all my research stuff. I mean, I've got, this is just, I say you see that group, that's just some of the research I have. There's even more over there, et cetera, but this is where my think tank, in a sense, right? Press Snap. Well, I'll be really excited to meet you, and you know why? No, I mean, a lot of reasons, but yeah, I just want to hear some more about Shador and Travis and whatever. Congratulations to Travis. He became a father. He has a son, I believe. I think that was yesterday or the day before or something like that, because Prime was talking about it today. But that's just wonderful. All right, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye, good night, good evening, good afternoon, because this podcast goes all over the world. I know it's about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning in Australia and New Zealand. It's pretty late at night in the UK and those places. So again, everybody, thanks for listening. I invite you one last time. You can go to the New Health Conversation. We won't contact you, but if you want to get your questions answered, because we got kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91 years old. We have people with no thyroids. They're thriving on this. It's not a diet. Okay, everybody, have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.